Welcome to another episode of Flexitalks, the podcast where we dive deep into the intricacies and trends of the tech industry. I'm your host, yet again, Angel, together with my co host.
Pam, and we're here today to explore yet another significant topic in the tech and digital marketing industry, which is, drum rolls please, branding.
Yes, that's right. Today, we'll discuss the significance of branding in the tech world, tackling various strategies and solving challenges.
Yes, and for this episode, we invite Miss Maha, the branding manager of Flexi Digital Marketing, to share her experiences and insights on branding.
So,
Hello, everyone. Hello, guys. Hello,
hi,
Pam.
Miss
Hello,
Maha.
Angel.
How you're
Hi.
doing? How's your
Hi.
Wednesday?
I'm good. I'm good. It's kind of gloomy outside, but everything's good.
Sakto sa
How are you
midday
guys?
gloom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, same thing on here from Parañaque. It's very gloomy as well.
Yeah, even
very
here.
gloomy.
Mm.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah, so before we begin dwelling on our topic, can you please share us more about yourself, your experience in branding, and anything you would like to say?
Okay, so again, hello to everyone who is listening. I'm Maha. I'm working with FlexiSource IT and Flexi Digital Marketing now. So before that, I've been in the marketing industry for 17 years now. Wow, 17 years. It's
Wow.
been that long. Yeah. So
Tagal.
tagal, yeah. So I actually specialize in experiential marketing, brand
Mm.
marketing, and social media. So my journey started with a broadcasting company. So I worked there for 6 years, and there I discovered my passion for branding and event marketing. So this passion naman drove me to start my own company and partnering with a mix of brands. So from fashion, beauty
Mhm.
to automotive and also personal brands. So I've worked with like government people during the election time. So
Oh.
I was able
Ah,
to handle their election campaign through social media naman. Though then of course when the pandemic hit, the event industry faced a big
Mhm.
challenge, no, when the pandemic hit, bringing physical events to a standstill. So
yeah.
that's why we adapted by venturing into the world of virtual events and
Mhm.
deepening our footprint in social media marketing. So now I'm here. I'm excited to be part of FlexiSource IT team and the Flexi Digital Marketing team. So while
Mhm.
it's a new sector for me. It's a new industry for me. But I've always thrived on challenges, and this new role offers plenty of them. So yeah, looking forward to sharing my insights and experiences with you all.
We're actually looking forward to it as well.
Yeah,
So,
Mhm.
thank you.
to kick off our episode today, let's dive right into our first topic, the importance of branding for tech company. So, Miss Maha, could you shed some light on why branding is so important for tech companies in today's world?
Okay, so well, branding is very important not only on the IT industry, no, but
Mm-mm.
in every industry. But for now, branding is crucial for the tech companies, especially today. It's like giving your company a unique personality that sets it
Mhm.
apart from the rest. Like technology is constantly evolving, and
Yeah.
having a strong brand helps you stay memorable and trustworthy to your
Mm-mm.
customers. Like it's your chance to communicate what you stand for and how you can solve their pain points. So I think that's the importance or the significance of branding in technology. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so excellent, Miss Maha. So, digging deeper into this topic, we want to know more of the unique opportunities that branding gives to the IT companies that have branding specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, starting with marketing and sales. Can you tell us the role of branding in acquiring new clients in the tech industry?
Okay, so in my opinion, like IT companies have some opportunities and branding. They
Mm,
deal with innovation, problem solving, and cutting edge solutions. So branding allows them to showcase their expertise and reassure clients. It's like saying we know tech and we've got their back. So beyond
mhm,
individual projects, branding encourages the development of long-term relationships. It's
Mm-mm.
when clients associate your brand with expertise and reliability, they are more likely to return for future projects and recommend your services to others. So this fosters client loyalty and contributing to the sustained growth of your IT company. So when it comes to the marketing and sales, so branding plays a big role in acquiring new clients. It's like a well-established brand gives potential clients confidence in your abilities. It's like it's the first step of building a relationship. So, marketing and sales are essential aspects of any business, not only on IT.
Mm-mm.
And branding is a cornerstone of these efforts. So, when it comes to acquiring new clients, branding serves as a powerful tool.
mhm,
Like it communicates professionalism, reliability, and trustworthiness to potential clients. So, it essentially acts as the initial handshake in building a lasting relationship. Like before you dive into a relationship, what you see is like what you get. Like
yes.
the first, it's your like the facade of your brand. So what they see is what the initial or the first impression that they
Mm-mm.
will see to your brand. So there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my take.
As the saying goes nga naman po is, first impression lasts.
Yes, I agree. So it
Yeah.
same goes. It's not just with people, but
Yes.
it
Mhm,
also it reflects with the brand as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
So how, in terms of um outside of the company and moving on to your competition, how does branding set any IT company, or any company for that matter, apart from its competitors, and how does it contribute to market leadership?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so IT industry kasi is very crowded market. So
Mm-mm.
if you have a consistent branding, it helps you stand out apart from the rest of your competition. It's like telling your clients why you're different
Mm-mm.
and why they should choose you. So over time, it can lead to market leadership by building trust and loyalty. So again, during this duration of interview, you will hear me say again and again trust and loyalty, because
Mm,
branding, it's trust and loyalty is what branding is all about. So I'm sorry if I will like sound redundant, but it's
mhm,
really the context of branding, no? So
Yeah.
again, going back to the very highly competitive industry of IT, like effective branding is the key to standing out, no, amidst the sea of options. It serves as your unique selling proposition, clearly articulating what sets your IT company apart from the competition. Like through this branding, you communicate not only what you offer, but
mm,
also why clients should choose your solutions or services over others.
Mm.
So with this trust, and with the when the trust is built on the assurance that your company consistently delivers on its brand promise, it will make your client, return and recommend you also to the other companies, ganyan.
yes.
So it
Yeah.
will, in the long run, it will build a long lasting relationship, and it will create you, you have a like an advantage among
Mhm,
other your competitors if you have a consistent branding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it makes you memorable.
yes.
Yes, it makes
Yeah.
you
Builds trust.
memorable. Correct.
So it's not only for, potential clients, but it's also applicable in terms of acquiring new talents, getting new
Mm-hmm.
people. So let's
Yes.
talk about recruitment for this matter. Like,
Yeah.
how does a strong brand help IT companies, for example, us, FlexiSource,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
attract top talents in a very highly competitive job market like in IT? And how can we adjust our branding
Mm-hmm.
strategies for recruitment?
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of our setup or our business model with FlexiSource IT, of course we are a staff augmentation company, right? So
Yeah.
mostly we target not only our clients, but we also target our talents because
Yes.
they are the main, as the service or the product of our company, the
Yes.
talents talaga. So a strong brand attracts top talent. So people want to work for companies with a good reputation, of course. So
Yeah.
yeah, to tailor branding for recruitment, you should focus on values,
Mm-hmm.
culture, and career growth. So like a strong brand goes beyond just like marketing the reputation that resonate with job seekers. It
Mhm.
attracts top talent by conveying your values, culture, and your commitment to career growth. Like nowadays with the generation now, most of them like they do job hopping, no,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
to avoid that you also have to offer a career growth, no,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
why they job hop, it's because they don't feel like they belong with their company. That's one. It's like they experience a plateau,
Plateau. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
in their career, so no growth at all. So for that one, you have to tailor your branding for recruitment, not only to draw in skilled individuals, but also those who share your company's vision and are more likely to stay with you and to contribute positively on your company's long-term success. So I think that's very important for the recruitment. And as you can see, now with like for example on LinkedIn,
Mm-hmm.
all companies offer like work from home setup. That's one, like that's the big change that I think when the pandemic hit, that's one of the, I don't know, like silver lining. I think, I guess I will call that a silver lining during the
Yeah.
pandemic, the appreciation of virtual, parang
Yes.
you can still work and be productive even if you're working from home. It's just
Yeah.
that how this company will manage it.
Yes.
Yes.
So, and I think in FlexiSource IT, we're working from home since 2020, no, and
Yeah.
2020.
looking back, if you look back, parang during the pandemic, it helped pa FlexiSource IT to grow,
Yes,
Yeah.
no?
actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Parang compared to the during the times na we're
When you
doing
work
an on-site,
outside,
yeah,
yes,
'di ba?
True.
physically.
Parang when during the pandemic and working from home, parang it helped the company grow larger pa,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no,
because it
compared to
provided
before.
more opportunities
Yes,
for
more
people who aren't
opportunities.
even in Metro Manila.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Oh. And
Yeah,
also in the IT industry, I guess it really worked for us.
yeah,
For the developers, I think they would prefer working at home or
Yes.
alone, with on their own pace, on their own time, ganyan. So
mm-mm.
yeah, recruitment plays a vital role in branding. So it helps vice versa. It helps both ways. So there.
Yeah. In connection to that, basically recruitment and stuff, we would like to know more about retention part because we know branding is really important with the human resource part of a company. So,
Mm-hmm.
what about in retention? Does it make a difference that a company's internal culture aligns with the branding? Uh,
Yes, I think so I think culture plays a big role in retaining talent and also with the branding. So when a company's culture aligns with the brand values, employees are happier and more
Mm-hmm.
productive. So these boost overall company's performance. So aligning a company's internal culture with its brand values in the IT sector has a ripple effect on employees' morale, productivity, overall company performance,
Yes.
talent attraction, and customer satisfaction. So it creates a cohesive and motivated workforce that is more likely to drive innovation and deliver great results and in the long run and will contribute to the company's
Mm-hmm.
long-term success.
Yes, that's great.
That's amazing. And I really do agree that thanks to branding, like it
Mm-hmm.
has plenty, it does give a company plenty of benefits per se, not just
Yeah.
internally but also externally. So it's a whole banger, honestly. So let's switch gears for a bit and talk about the challenges that most IT companies face when it comes to branding.
Mhm.
We first want to talk about um, the ethical concerns like data privacy and how does it influence certain branding practices for tech companies.
Okay. So on that aspect, I'm not really I wouldn't say like I'm very experienced when it comes to data privacy. But
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
with ethical branding in the tech sector, especially in the area of data privacy concerns and ethical considerations, tech companies can ensure ethical branding practices by being transparent about
Mm-hmm.
data usage and privacy policies based in the industry standards and regulations, and communicating their commitment to ethical conduct in their branding messages. So, demonstrating a strong, let's say, corporate social responsibility agenda and aligning brand values with ethical principles can further enhance the ethical branding in the tech industry. So there. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
On yes. On another note, we know that trends change rapidly. Yes, as you mentioned earlier, because of technology and stuff like that. Yeah. So, how do these constant changes pose issues to branding efforts, and how do companies adapt to stay relevant when it comes to that?
Okay, so I think to adapt, tech companies should embrace agility in
Mm-hmm.
branding strategies. So they must monitor industry trends closely and be prepared to pivot and update branding messages and visuals as needed. So
Okay.
I think the key here is to be flexible and staying relevant. I think that's the most important. So tech companies should position themselves as an industry thought leaders by constantly sharing insights and expertise on, let's say, the latest trends, which
Mm-hmm.
can enhance their brand's credibility and relevance in the industry.
Yes. Do you have any tips for companies, IT companies particularly, to know, like, to stay on touch with the trends, changing trends or anything?
Okay, so I think for that, so making um to make understandable and relatable, so making
Mm-hmm.
complex technical offerings relatable to a non-technical audience is a common challenge for IT companies, no. So effective branding and communications strategies involve simplifying complex concepts through clear and jargon-free messaging. So also storytelling can be a powerful tool, using relatable narratives and real-world examples to illustrate the benefits of the service that you offer. So what could these solutions provide them? So additionally, also customer testimonials and case studies can provide like social proof and make technical offerings more relatable.
Okay, thanks for that answer, Miss Maha. When it comes to consistency, we know that in branding, consistency is crucial. But
Mm-mm.
how do IT companies ensure that consistency is applied to all platforms? Because we know that today we use several social media platforms, a website, and stuff like that. So especially when they expand with their online presence. So do you have any tips so that they can ensure consistency?
Okay, so I think to maintain brand consistency, companies should establish a clear brand guidelines that cover like visual elements on social medias. Of course, what you can see is all visual. So what you present is very important. So like having like a engaging logo,
Mm-hmm.
colors, fonts, yan, and also the messaging tone. Let's not forget the messaging tone. I'll dive deeper later, I guess, towards the end about
Yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
misconception about branding. I think it's one of our topics also. I'll elaborate that later on. But here, for the guidelines, it should be communicated to all, to all the team. So,
Mm-hmm.
and partners involved in the brand representation so that it's cohesive to all the social media platforms and implementing a digital I guess it would help also if you'll have a digital management system where all your brand assets are there so
Mm-hmm.
that if you want to create content you can just easily pull out any
Mm-hmm.
logo, font or colors yan, and then it will be consistent in all digital channels and touch points. And then also very important to do regular brand audits because sometimes along the way
Mm-hmm.
you sometimes miss out on the your brand consistency. So regular brand audits and review can also help identify and address inconsistencies in branding in general.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. So, as much as possible, everything has to be accessible for everyone. That
Yes.
way,
Yes.
everyone's
Mm-mm.
on the same page and everything's
Yes.
consistent. Uh, well, so we now have the fundamentals. So let's dig into the nitty gritty of creating a
Yes.
brand in the IT
Yes.
world.
This is
Are you
going to be
excited?
long.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are the first steps that IT companies should take when starting from scratch to build their
Mm-hmm.
their their brand identity?
Uh-uh. Okay. So actually this is just not for IT companies no, but
Yes.
for all the industries. So branding is often misunderstood as simply the visual elements of the company. I really want to
Yes.
emphasize on
I
that.
agree
I
with
do agree with
I
that.
agree
Yes.
with that.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
branding, all the packaging, the logo, the font, the
Yes.
The
template.
color. That's
Yeah,
it.
Mm-hmm.
people misunderstood that branding is not just simply those things. Yes,
Yes.
logo,
Mm-hmm.
colors, and fonts or design templates are, another factor of branding, but it's not
Yes.
really all about that. It's not really all about that. So at its core, branding is about defining and expressing who you are as a company. So in
Yeah.
terms, if you're a person, like if a brand is a person,
Yes.
it's your personality, not like,
Yes.
you know, like and the way you dress,
Yes.
it will show your personality. So
Yeah.
same goes with branding. So branding is not just like the facade, like the logo or what you wear, what's your color, what's your font, ganyan. It's
Yeah.
really the messaging, who you are as a company, what you stand for, your unique value, and what you can bring to your customers and to the market. So in on this part, since you asked me about like what are the steps no in creating or building a brand from scratch,
Yes.
I like recently I just want to share lang, like recently we had a rebranding for Flexisource IT. Yeah,
Mm.
'di ba? So we did a rebranding. Normally, um when I did a rebranding with other companies, it will take me a year or more pa to do a rebranding. But
Mhm.
here in Flexisource IT, parang we just did it in like 6 months or less, I guess. No, so
Yes.
it's really hard to create a new brand from scratch.
Mm-mm.
So if you are going to create a brand from scratch, of first thing that you need to know is you need to know your purpose and your values.
Mhm.
So what are these things, like your mission, your vision, your values? Of course, about when we see a website, when we read that, parang some people don't really mind that. Parang okay, they have a vision, they have a mission, they have values, ganyan. But really, you have to understand, like a brand, for a company owner, you have to understand why your company exists. Like, what are your
Mhm.
principles? And this purpose and values will become your foundation, with that will help you shape your brand identity and resonate with your target audience, which leads me to your next step, which is your know your target audience. So of
Yeah.
course, to be able to create a company, you have to know or identify your ideal clients and your partners. So what are the type of clients that you want to work with? What are the type of people that you want to um, employ or join your
Mhm.
company? So understanding the needs and preferences and pain points of this audience can help you tailor your brand identity to align with your audience values. So of course, then you need to do your market research. No, so
Mhm.
you need to assess your competitor. So where am I in this industry? So and with this market research, you will understand what sets you apart from your competitors and how to communicate it um effectively. So when you identify all those three things, you can now create your brand name and your
Yeah.
logo. No,
Mhm.
so you cannot. Some people kasi, I think some brand, they first create the brand name and the logo, and then
Yes.
the purpose and the values comes next, and the target, which is wrong.
Mm-mm.
Dapat you should identify first all those things: the purpose, values, your audience, and your competitors. And then after that, you can create na your brand name and your logo. So this is just like a visual representation of who you are.
Yeah.
It's like, of course, when you have a good logo and a good color, it will catches the eye of the consumer or your audience, diba? So that's the first step. For example, again, in if we put it in a person context. Parang if you
Yeah.
like someone, 'di ba, the first thing you will see is the physical appearance. So
Yes.
it's the same with branding. So and then you will just look for the logo. Oh, that has a nice logo. And then after that, you will get to know the brand. But it's the
Mhm.
same as people. You get to be attracted first physically, ganyan, and then after that you will get to know the person. So it's the same as branding. And the last, of course, also your brand messaging, how you talk to your audience, how what you offer and why it matters. Of course, there are many competitors in the industry, lalo na with tech. There are many competitors. So you have to be concise or memorable with your target audience. And of course, visual brand elements, yan, like the materials, yan, the visual elements, posters, marketing collaterals, that's next. And the brand story. So a very, very important is the brand story. So it will highlight your journey as a company, and make it relatable to your audience. So that one, I think that is the steps in creating your branding from scratch. And also, I'd like to add lang that, of course, when you all created this branding aspect, no, syempre you have to invest in brand promotion. So you have
Mhm.
to let other people know that, hey, I'm here, I exist, no.
Yeah.
Because if you have a bit, ano naman, like if you created a good branding, a good messaging, and you don't know how to promote it, or to communicate to your audience, then wala, sayang naman. So
That's
yun. So
true.
there. So invest in brand promotion. That's the important part. Invest in brand promotion also. Yeah. Sorry,
Honest,
on the
honestly,
long.
listening to your explanation on the steps on creating a brand from scratch, and when you put it into the human context, it made me think of dating. Honestly,
Yeah,
Yes.
think
yeah,
of
correct.
Tinder. Think of
Yes,
Tinder, right? Like,
yes, right.
um the logo, the other visuals, it's how they present themselves on that
Correct.
one picture,
Yes,
and then the caption is like how you go about the messaging. But when you get to that date, it's always about your values, your purpose.
yes. Diba? So like branding a company is like, I think, so that people can understand the context of branding is related to a person.
Yes.
Diba?
Mm-hmm.
So exactly when you date, that's the first thing that you will see, the logo, the ganyan. But
Yeah.
it's those visual elements are just like a tip of the iceberg. Like
Yes.
kung,
It's
like if they look like
it's
if
just
they look
to attract
yeah,
your attention.
to
Yeah.
attract your attention. And
Yeah.
then when you're there, when you're attracted, you will get to know the person. Same goes with the brand. So you will
Yes.
commit na. So when you get to know this person or this brand, then you will commit. Then
Yes.
so then the rest is ano na.
The
There.
rest is
That's
history.
History.
it related to dating, diba?
Yes.
Very relate.
Yeah. So
So
speaking
yeah.
of visual identity, it's very crucial since it's the attention grabber. It's the one thing that attracts people first. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, for a company, how important is it to establish a unique visual identity through, as we've mentioned, their logos, their
The logo.
colors, and their
Uh-uh.
design elements?
Okay. So I think for this one, the elements, it's like it's really a powerful tool to convey your brand's values, mission, and personality. Like stories create emotional connection
Yeah.
in a highly technical field like IT, where products and services can be complex.
Yeah.
These connections are, let's say, crucial for engaging clients and partners on a deeper level. So let's say Apple, kunyari, for example Apple, because like Apple created a brand story that revolves around challenging the status quo. Like they think differently and empowering individuals through technology. So
Yeah.
like going back to their famous 1984 commercial during the Super Bowl launch of the Macintosh computer, like it's a prime example of storytelling. It portrayed Apple as the rebel against the conformity of the tech industry. So it resonates with those who felt the same way na like, hey, I'm different. So I can relate to Apple because Apple is a rebel tech, ganyan. So
Yeah.
I can relate to them, ganyan. So
Yeah.
Apple's storytelling has fostered passionate and loyal customers. I think up to now they
Yeah.
have, there's the Samsung people, the Android people, and there's this iOS people and Apple people. Ideally they give you the same benefit, I guess, like calls,
Features.
data,
Pictures.
features, smart, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
on how they perceive their branding. 'Di ba? Like for example, Samsung, they use Koreans to promote their
Yes.
brands.
Yeah.
So they will attract people. But if you see Apple, they don't use any
Mm-hmm.
celebrities with their brand
Yeah.
because they're, I think, I don't know, don't quote me on this, but baka magalit si Samsung at si Apple saan. But it's my ano lang naman, personal opinion. Like Apple don't need those kind of celebrities to
Yes.
convince people to buy because
Yeah.
they know that their story or their features or parang the effect on people when using an iPhone versus a Samsung. There's no discrimination. It's just that there are two different people, two
Yeah.
different markets. No, so I think that's one. Kaya when I think of brand talaga, I love to connect it with Apple.
Mm-mm.
Kasi because of that perception or um branding talaga that we don't need celebrity to promote our product. People will buy us. Even if like they use regular people in their commercials.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
parang compared to Samsung, there's BTS. By the way, I'm an army, but still I'm an army. Yun na nga, very good example. I'm an army. I love BTS. But even if they model Samsung, alam mo yun, I'm still not convinced. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why. But see Apple, every time there's a new model, you have to, because I think I can relate to Apple more than I can relate to Samsung. So yeah, so yun. So I guess that's it. So
I think it has
ayan.
to stem from the earlier branding campaigns of
Yes.
Apple back then. It was
Mm-hmm.
always about individualism and
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
expressing that. Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Even now some of their um what's this? Their
Have you
items
Yeah,
still
have
do
you seen
portray
the
that.
Yes, have you seen the recent commercial of Apple when it comes to there's a they used a celebrity for this. I forgot the name of the Hollywood celebrity. Pero they're talking about this is a good example of how a brand can convey storytelling when it comes to marketing or branding.
Mm-hmm.
um I'm gonna share it to you. Maybe we can share to the viewers or to the listeners the short clip of that video. But they're talking about like going parang it more about the materials that they use with Apple phones.
Mm-mm.
I forgot na the right term, pero like the carbon footprint
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
by I think by 2030. So what they did is like a short commercial of like having this Hollywood actress portray as a mother nature, like going attending meetings with several tech companies just to know what their plans in the future when it comes to living their carbon footprint in the in the world. So
Yeah.
the reason why I mentioned that, because I really love that commercial, because it really portrays the message, the storytelling in one commercial. It's like it's not the typical commercial that you see or the
Yes.
typical way that other brands talk to people. Like, 'di ba usually
Es-
very ano lang
Especially when it
eh,
comes up to when it's about the environment.
environment
There's a
exactly.
certain way that they've already marketed it to the point that
Yes.
it's basically a hammer to a wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they did it in such a way that you will watch it and you will
Yes.
listen, because of course, let's be honest, when you talk about the environment, some people find it boring. Some
Mm-hmm.
people,
Yeah.
they don't, parang the first 30 seconds pa lang if you talk about climate change, parang okay, you will stop na the video. But with this Apple commercial, it really, it catches the attention from start to finish. Talagang you will watch the video from start to finish, because on how they portray the branding, the messaging, the storytelling, as in like 100% you will watch. It's like you're really watching a short film. So yon. So it's really really nice on how to and on how tech companies immensely uh create brand stories with tech. Yan.
Yeah.
So of course, 'di ba, kasi tech companies are not really ano ba, cheesy, or unlike other brands or other
Yes.
industries, like kunyari skincare or fashion, or
Yeah.
there's a
Food.
it's easy, it's easy to relate to people. But with tech, okay, and palang what do I know about tech? Or
Yeah.
Mhm.
all I know is TikTok or Instagram. But how can people relate to you? So,
Yeah.
it's really hard. Kaya on the IT industry, it's really really hard to enter that message or connect the message to every individual, because you have to be relatable, or you should not use complex jargons nga,
Yeah.
IT jargons, kasi otherwise they won't understand you, or they won't relate to you. So
Yeah.
yan. There.
How it would
Yon.
appeal to them on a more emotional
Yes.
level, since like
Mhm.
as much as we want to say that we're all logical, at the end of the day we're very much influenced by our emotion. That's why like
Mhm.
for IT
Correct.
companies to appeal to people without having to bother them with so much jargon. Yeah.
Yes, very, yeah. We don't have to be, as much as possible, even if we are in the technical tech company.
Yeah.
When we connect to people or to our audience, we should use relatable terms pa rin
Yes.
instead of complex words.
Yes.
So yeah, earlier, Miss Maha, we've talked about the online presence. We both agree that online presence is critical when it comes to branding and in the IT industry. So
Mm-mm.
can you tell us some strategies that IT companies should adopt or employ to effectively leverage their online branding efforts, including web
Okay,
design
so
or content marketing and other
okay,
aspects like that? Yeah.
yeah. So I think to leverage the online branding efforts effectively, I think number one is to have a website design. So like a website. So like website functions as your home or your
Mhm.
store in the
Yeah.
online space, no. So this is very important. Like of course you have to ensure that your website is very responsive and user friendly across various devices, like if it's like a mobile or a tablet ganyan. So it should be user friendly and very intuitive navigation. Yan, it's also crucial. Next naman is you have to have a content marketing. Yan, content marketing. So you have to develop high quality and relevant contents that showcases your expertise. So this can include like blog posts, white papers, case studies, and videos. Me personally, I love receiving newsletter or yung mga downloadable templates. I super love those when I receive from other brand strategists na that I receive their, like it's like picking out their brain, like sharing it to you. So, diba, it's very, very relevant. So that one, content marketing. And then next, of course, is the SEO optimization. That's also important. It's like it will improve your visibility on Google or search engine. Yan.
Mhm.
And then next, I guess, is engagement. So engagement on social media. This is one of the major I think ano ba major I think lacking on some of the social media engagement is like when you post online, parang it's important that you stay online for the next 30 minutes.
Mm.
So kasi some people they post and then they leave their page, no. Dapat with your engagement, you should be visible or present in your social media for the next 30 minutes. So that's the crucial part when you post on social media, the first 30 minutes. Dapat when one of your audience comments, dapat you should comment back also. That's where the communication or social engagement really happens. Not just after posting and then bye, ganon. Not like
Yeah.
that. So you have to really engage, no? Comment, share, like, ganyan. It's very, very important. And we also need to have the email marketing. Again, email is a very important tool. And some people they say like DMs na ngayon, like Instagram DMs or personal message. But for me, email still is one of the powerful tool that we need to build and nurture in targeting communication and relationship building, most especially with IT sector, no. It's really
Mhm.
the email marketing pa rin talaga is very important rather than the DMs that the Gen Z uses nowadays. So, yeah,
Yes.
email marketing pa rin talaga. And then, of course, the analytics. So, you have to regularly analyze your website or your content performance to make and to improve the quality of your content later on. So analytics are, yeah, the important one. So there.
Thank you for that. Speaking of online presence, uh, what are some of the best practices for IT companies when it comes to utilizing social media platforms to build and promote their brands?
Okay, so best practices for social media, I think you should maintain the consistency of the
Yeah,
branding across all social media profiles. Like use the same logo, the colors, and the
Mhm.
tone of voice. So right now with social media, they have different sizes, no? So we have to pay attention also to that because it will, the sometimes the collateral or the visuals that you use for Facebook, it doesn't fit on Instagram or on LinkedIn. So you have to be careful with those things as well. So consistency is one. Next is you have to develop, I think, a content calendar. So with a mix of different content pillars. So with this, for the content strategy, I want to emphasize that like social media is not really for selling. No, social
Mhm.
media for the word, from the word social media, it's social to socialize. So
yeah,
but in terms of the content, don't just put all sales content,
yeah.
because it will result to unfollowing, or disliking contents, ganyan. You should
Or just
develop
boring
yeah, a
people
mix.
out.
Oo. Like,
Yeah,
kasi all you want to do is sell, 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 which is
Mhm.
that is not the purpose of the social media. Social media is there to engage with people, to talk to
mhm,
people, and communicate with them. So you have to have a different mix of content pillars, like informative, educational, quotes, ganyan, mga poll, question and answer, yeah, something like that. So that that people can relate to. So I think that's one. And again, after that is the engagement. So you need to be actively engaged with your followers, responding to comments and messages promptly. That's why you have to be online nga, for the next 30 minutes, because that is the crucial part of social media branding or marketing. So you have to encourage discussions, so you can provide value to your customers. Hindi yung after you post, you just leave them behind, and then they when they comment, parang wala, no reaction. So you have to engage. And then of course, the visuals. So, syempre, right now, the attention span of people is like 3 seconds. You have to get their attention
Yeah.
in a span of 3 seconds.
yeah.
So, utilize visual content such like infographics or videos. Yan. Videos is the number one form of visual nowadays. Eh. So, yon. And then, last, I guess, is to participate in um webinars, seminars, be part of those organizations that provide industry insights or trends. So be a thought leader in your industry. So yeah, it's hard to lalo na when you're a newcomer in the tech industry. It's really hard to penetrate the organization or the group, but you have to make an effort to become
Yeah.
a thought leader in your industry. And lastly, I guess for some, the paid advertising is one.
Mhm.
I think that's if you really want to sell, no, that the paid advertising in social media is the best avenue, not your social media feed, no.
Mhm.
Like social media feed is for giving information, talking, or engagement, and then use the paid advertising to sell your company. So yeah, don't mix it. So that's my tip lang also, na your feed or your social media feed should not contain all sales post. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
very
Yes.
very important. No? It should contain different mix of information that could relate to your audience. I will end to that. Okay.
So, as we wrap up, Miss Maha, can you offer practical advice and actionable steps for companies, businesses that are looking to enhance their brand presence and further their recognition within the IT industry itself?
Okay. So I think my advice would be, number one, know your target audience inside and out. I really wanna emphasize on that. And tailor your branding to their needs and preferences, not to your needs. I mean, of course, your brand should like speak about you, but also speak to your customers. So that's
Yes.
one. And next is consistency. And consistency really matters. So maintain a consistent brand voice, visuals, and messaging across all platforms. Um, Listen to your customers' feedback. That's the next advice that I'd like to give. Use it to refine your brand strategy. Those testimonials, no, whether it's a positive feedback or a negative feedback, use that to create your brand strategy. And the last one is, I guess, continuous update. Stay updated, continuously educate yourself about the industry trends, don't stop learning,
Mm-mm.
and integrate them into your branding efforts. So again, know your audience, consistent brand voice, listen to your customers, and continuously educate yourself. Don't stop learning. So there, that's my advice.
Yay.
Yes. That's good, Miss Maha. Last question. For IT startups or smaller companies with limited
Mhm.
resources, do you have any cost-effective tips in branding? Yes, to
Oh
help
yeah.
them, yeah, rise from the industry. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for startups or smaller companies, I think they would I think the best advice that I could give is to leverage the social media. Social media is free, so
Mm-hmm.
use it, but use it wisely. So it is a cost effective, and use it to connect with your audience and build brand awareness, not just to sell. I'm going back to my point
Yeah.
earlier. Use social media to connect, to
Yeah.
engage, and be social, and not just to sell. So, and then next is maybe collaborate with influencers. That's another one that you can do when you're doing a startup or small companies. Collaborate to influencers and expand your network. That's one. And then for the brand, for the visuals for the startups, kasi if you can get a graphic designer, then good. If not, utilize Canva. I cannot emphasize it enough. I love Canva.
Free.
It's
Yeah, it's
free.
free.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love Canva. So invest in learning basic design, hence Canva. So Canva is really a game changer in design world. Yeah. So, diba? So Canva, invest in learning basic design, Canva. And then in Canva, you can, this is not sponsored by Canva.
Baka naman.
Baka naman. Yeah, but
Maybe
yeah,
eventually.
maybe eventually, Canva, if you're watching this or listening to this.
We'll
Ayan,
be
so,
more than
yeah,
happy to be sponsored by you, Canva. Thank
correct.
you very
Yes,
much.
correct.
Correct. Yeah. So, yeah, invest in learning basic design. In Canva, there's a lot of templates. You just need to know how to use it wisely and properly, no? Kasi in Canva, when you see, there's a lot of templates. Sometimes you get lost in
Mm-hmm.
different designs, different branding, ganyan. So you have to find your own voice or your own design when you use that. And lastly, I guess, focus on like a niche market. So if everyone is selling the same product, it's really it's really hard to penetrate or enter that market. Parang if focus on a niche market if that's possible, and become expert in that area. And so, yeah, and then I guess for just to close, is it closing already?
Yes.
Or not? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So I guess I just want to leave this here. So overall, like, I just want everyone to remember that branding is a long-term process. It's not something that can be established overnight. Again,
Yes.
it's a long-term process. So it's cultivated through consistent actions, communications, and experiences over time.
Yeah.
um Building a strong brand involves delivering on your promises consistently. Not naman na parang, okay, you presented this and then you're not delivering. Not naman that. So
Mhm.
you build a strong brand involves delivering on your promise consistently and adapting to changes in the market and continuously reinforcing your brand identity. It's a continuous change because in the world of technology, it continuously evolves. So of course, if your industry continuously evolves, you have to evolve also, not be
Yeah.
stuck on the,
Same.
you don't be stuck there. You should be flexible. Flexibility talaga is the key here. So in essence, like, branding is a reputation and identity of your company in the eyes of your audience. It's the first thing they will see, that they will read, lalo na in
Mhm.
online, in an online world. So it's the trust and recognition that comes from consistently delivering value and aligning your actions with your brand value. So it's not just about, again, it's not just about aesthetics. I'll repeat that: branding is not just about aesthetics, not about design or templates. It's not that. It's about building a lasting and meaningful relationship with your customers and your stakeholders. That's it. Yeah, that's my parting words for today's
It's not
episode.
just aesthetics.
Yeah, it's not the aesthetics, and it's
Yeah.
not.
Mhm.
It's a long term process.
Yes.
Yes.
Kind of like how
There.
people constantly change.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
There.
that's it, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss
Yes.
Maha, for sharing your expertise in branding with your audience today. And guys,
Thank you.
we hope that this enlightening conversation has given you valuable insights into branding, not just regardless of whether you're in IT or in any industry. We hope
Yes.
this episode really helped you
Yes.
out.
I hope you learned something, guys.
At least
Yeah, we've
remember,
learned a lot.
branding is not aesthetics.
And
Yeah,
it's not
branding is
done
not aesthetic.
overnight.
Yes, it's
Yes,
a
It's a
long-term
gradual
process.
process.
it
Yes.
is.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this episode of Flexitalks. We'll be back with more insights and discussion on the tech world and digital marketing industry. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you won't miss a thing from us. Until then, stay curious. This is Pam.
And Angel, we'll see you again next time. Bye,
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.